designing healthcare buildings with accessibility in mind. Welcome to Building Knowledge 101. In this video, we explore accessibility, applicable codes, standards, and regulations, and address the issues faced when accessing healthcare facilities. There are quite a few codes that are providing guidelines and designs around accessibility. This is one of the most familiar that we've all seen as Americans with Disabilities, or ADA. And ADA has a lot of requirements that impact the way we put together mainly entrances is what we're going to be looking at. But be aware that ADA is not the only one impact that's driving accessibility. There are other codes and standards. So be aware, based on your project, what type of project is, what standards might also be in play, not only just ADA. ADA is included in IBC, so all commercial construction has to comply with ADA guidelines. Hospital designs really need to focus on accessibility due to the nature of their clientele. Accessibility has a big impact on products such as entrances and operable windows. So let's look at some of the examples of how ADA impacts entrances. Here's an entrance going into a hospital, and you can't see it well in this picture, but there is an automatic operator on the inside, and there's handicap push pads on either side of the doors on the interior and the exterior. So somebody approaching this entrance, all they need to do is just reach over and push paddle button, and that's going to automatically open the door and hold them open long enough for someone to easily get through the entrance to the interior. So the first way we look at entrances is minimum clear opening. Entrances need to be designed so that people, handicapped otherwise, are able to safely get through to the interior of the building. Key aspect to this is how doors open and what speed they open. Door closers and automatic operators are configured to open a door at a proper speed, hold it open, and then allow the door to slowly close, allowing people time to get through it. ADA sets maximum pull forces that all entrances have to comply with. Typically on exterior doors, ADA is going to say that no more than 8.5 to 10 pounds operating force to open a door is the max. And then all doors have to have a minimum clear opening of 32 inches. You can have a wider door than that, but according to ADA, you can't have a door with a smaller clear opening than 32 inches. And again, this is for accessibility of a wheelchair through that entrance. So let's look at how a door opens. You can see as the door starts to open, we have what's called the open speed. And then some closers provide back check or hold open. Then as the door closes, a closing speed, and then a final speed is a latching speed. It should actually be a bit faster than that. But two different speeds as the door closes. So make sure that when you're adjusting closers, you're allowing enough time for somebody to get through the door during that closing sweep. Then the last 15 degrees as the latching speed is going to hit a little bit harder, so hardware will engage. Again, very important aspect of healthcare applications is removing obstructions from entrances. So if you notice here, the operator on the pair of doors on the right has a power assist operator on the top, so that if someone approaching the door just needs to hit a push pad, and that operator that you see at the top of the door is going to open the door for them, hold it open a given amount of time, and then slowly close the door back behind the person, safely giving them plenty of time to get through it. Also notice here in the center, right at this point, there's a removable mullion. So if we have to open these doors, prop them open to get something larger through the door, we can very easily do that. Other key aspects to entrances regarding accessibility is the height of the threshold. If you notice in the details here, the thresholds are all limited to 1/2 inch. So according to ADA, thresholds can exceed 1/2 inch, again, to make it easier for wheelchairs to get in and out and over the thresholds to the interior. Also, you can see an example of a bottom rail here on the far right. ADA requires that bottom rails not be less than 10 inches tall. And this is to prevent a wheelchair going through the entrance from the footrest getting hung up on the glass stops. So with a 10-inch bottom rail, as someone in a wheelchair is going through the entrance, the footrest will slide along the bottom rail and get past the door and won't get hung up on the glass stops of the vertical stiles. ADA also will dictate the location of hardware. We want to make sure that people of all heights, whether they're sitting or standing, can reach the hardware and be able to get a hold of it. Hardware you don't want to have too high so that somebody in a wheelchair wouldn't be able to reach it. But door hardware should be placed between 32 inches and 48 inches from the floor. ADA also requires that hardware not require grasping, twisting, or rotating. Hardware must be easily just pushed to open up. So the lever handle you see in the illustration of the door here can be substituted with a paddle latch. And a paddle latch in many cases is acceptable for ADA because all you have to do is just push it. There's no grasping or rotating required to have a paddle latch operate the door. Power assist on entrances is also called out. These must be activated by a simple push to open the door and hold it open long enough for someone within a walker to get through. Then return the door to a closed position and hold it there against wind pressure and stack pressure. On the pair of entrances on the right, you can see that the entry on the left has a power assist operator at the head. This acts like a closer. If somebody manually opens the door, it will pull it back into a closed position and hold it, pulling it back at an adjusted rate of speed. But also when somebody approaches it needs help, they can push a handicap access paddle and the power assist operator will open the door for the person. Then notice that this leaf is called out with a designated tag here to let everyone approaching the entrance know that that is the door that has the power assist. With this one, you can see it has a surface mount closer. So that has no power assist attached to it. So again, simply pushing the handicap pad will activate the power assist here to open the door for somebody trying to get through it. So there's a lot going into hospitals regarding design of daylight, air quality, accessibility, and all of this becomes a collective effort to improve the wellness of everyone in the building. It starts with the designers and engineers and goes through building owners and managers. Interior occupant comfort and well-being is very, very important, especially in healthcare facilities. That is all we have time for in this video. If you'd like to watch more of our 101 video series, subscribe to our YouTube channel, Kawneer Company, Inc.